Small towns of America. Big stories often live in small places. This is Small Towns of America, and today we're discovering Milford, Connecticut, where the river meets the sound and history, landscape, and local character have shaped a place unlike any other. A special thank you to one of our subscribers for suggesting this city. On Connecticut's southern edge, Milford meets Long Island Sound with a shoreline that feels both open and intimate. Salt air moves across beaches and tidal marshes, while the Wepawaug River slips through the center of town toward the harbor. Around it rises a place where old meeting house greens, mill-era structures, neighborhood beaches, and working waterfronts have accumulated over nearly 4 centuries. Milford is a city today, but its most memorable scenes remain close to the human scale. A duck pond beneath a bridge, boats in the harbor, weathered stones at low tide, and storefronts gathered around the green. Long before English settlement, this coastal landscape was part of the homeland of the Pigouset people. The river was known as Wepawaug. In February 1639, settlers from the New Haven colony acquired land from Onsentawai, a Pigouset sachem, and established a community beside the river's mouth. The name Milford arrived in November 1640. It suited a settlement shaped by water, with the river offering both a crossing and a source of power. The town grew outward from its green, river, harbor, and farms, yet the original geography still explains the plan of the center. Water was Milford's first engine. Mills stood along the Wepawaug, turning local grain, sawing timber, and later supporting small industries. The river created a sequence of ponds and falls that still gives downtown its distinct visual rhythm. As coastal trade expanded, the harbor linked local producers to larger markets. Oysters became an important part of the shoreline economy, and Milford's sheltered waters supported fishermen, boat builders, and merchants. The town's development was never only inland or only maritime. It was a working balance between river power, fertile ground, and the sound. The historic core makes that layered past easy to read. Milford Green, one of the largest remaining town greens in New England, is framed by mature trees, churches, civic buildings, and homes from many eras. On the east side, First Church of Milford traces its congregation to 1639. Its present building, completed in 1824, gives the center a tall white steeple and a familiar Federal-era silhouette. Nearby, the white-columned City Hall and surrounding historic homes show that this is a civic as well as a social center. Architecture here does not sit behind gates. It belongs to the daily streetscape. A short walk from the green, the Wepawaug becomes especially visible at the Milford Duck Pond. The small body of water, waterfall, stone walls, and memorial bridge make a compact scene that locals recognize immediately. The bridge's graceful arches turn an ordinary crossing into a downtown landmark, and the river continues beneath the surrounding streets toward Milford Harbor. Along the streets near the duck pond and nearby lanes, 18th and 19th century houses retain the variety that gives the center its texture. Clapboard facades, deep porches, tall chimneys, shutters, and lawns shaded by old trees. At Wharf Lane, the Milford Historical Society preserves a 3-house complex that brings domestic history within reach. The Eel Stowe House dates to about 1700, while the Clark Stockade House and Brian Downs House add later 18th century examples. Together, they show how early buildings evolved through additions, changing uses, and careful preservation. The complex is close to the old landing area, a useful reminder that the harbor once carried much of the town's commercial life. Milford's past is not concentrated in one monumental building. It appears in a network of ordinary but enduring places. The harbor remains a natural gathering point. At Lisbon Landing, boats, masts, slips, and the broad inlet offer a changing view with weather and tide. Here, the Wepawaug opens into the sound, and Milford's shoreline character becomes unmistakable. A little inland, Seven Seas Restaurant and Pub at 16 New Haven Avenue has been operated by the Smith family since 1965, pairing New England seafood with Irish pub hospitality. It belongs to the wider downtown rather than the harbor itself, a local place with its own long-running story. Milford's coastal scenery reaches its fullest scale at Silver Sand State Park. The park combines beach, dunes, salt marsh, and a raised boardwalk where the view travels across Long Island Sound. At low tide, a sandbar leads toward Charles Island, a forested landmark with a long history of stories and seasonal bird habitat. The crossing is tempting, but conditions change quickly. The island is best appreciated from shore. The park is also a major birding landscape, used by migratory species throughout the year. Its real drama comes from open sky, moving water, and the spare geometry of grass, sand, and boardwalk. West of Silver Sands, Walnut Beach carries a more neighborhood-scale energy. Its broad beach, long pier, and waterfront views look toward the Sound, while adjoining streets hold small businesses and homes. The shoreline connection between Walnut Beach and Silver Sands lets this stretch read as one long public landscape. Farther east, Milford Point has a different mood. There, the Connecticut Audubon Society Coastal Center overlooks the mouth of the Housatonic River and the marshy barrier beach of the point. It is a place to notice tide lines, shorebirds, and the meeting of river and sea. Milford changed dramatically after the Second World War as new neighborhoods, businesses, and commuter connections brought greater population and a broader economy. In 1959, the town and city governments were consolidated as the city of Milford, yet modern Milford still carries the structure of its earlier chapters. Industry and technology share space with marinas, parks, and a historic center. Residential streets lead back to the water, and the Wepawaug still threads the city from pond to harbor. That mixture is its enduring character. Milford rewards attention to scale. Beside the river waterfall, across a green settled in the 17th century, and along the Sound at evening, its distinctive beauty is not a single grand attraction. It is the way water keeps reappearing, in the harbor, on the boardwalk, beside historic houses, and in the marshes at Milford Point. For a Connecticut coastal community with deep roots and a lived-in present, Milford offers a remarkably complete portrait of place.